Hi
Sure.
everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Brian, for speaking. It's great to have you back at another event, as I mentioned. Brian Epstein is an outplacement and career transition consultant who offers coaching services to executives, senior leaders, and management, as well as other business professionals. He works with employment lawyers to provide services to HR professionals responsible for restructuring their organizations. He also provides career transition consulting services to employees from all levels of organizations who have been downsized. Brian coaches employees during notification and throughout the whole work search process until they have been able to secure new career roles in their respective fields. Brian has degrees in business and education from the University of Ottawa and York University. He completed coach training at the Coaches Training Institute. Brian is interested in working with the employment lawyers who would like to ensure that their clients who have been downsized or who are restructuring their organizations are provided the best outplacement and career transition services. If you are an employment lawyer, Brian would like to speak to you to see if he can support one another at his clients. Brian's number is 647-528-9027, and his website is www.epsteinsuccesscoach.ca. Thank you again, Brian, for speaking, and good luck with your presentation.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brian Epstein. I'm happy to be here today, and one of the things that I'll be talking about is building your network. I know I'm talking to an audience of all lawyers, and everyone's busy with their own existing practices or practices that are growing. But if at any time we all like to see if we can build our network and to grow our law practice even more, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on today. As a non-lawyer, I will be talking about how one can grow their law practice. So obviously here we see some people that are networking in the world we're living in right now. It's a little bit hard to go out to do some of the networking that would normally do in person, but still, because of the world of Zoom, where we're all living on Zoom, it is possible to do some networking on a day-to-day basis, or if we set agendas for ourselves to do it on a weekly or monthly basis. I think it's really important that we always try to build and grow our own existing network. So, and oftentimes you can see at the top here, by the way, I work with an organization called Newman Human Resources, and I should mention this is that no matter what you're dealing with when you're talking to some of your clients, your HR clients, we deal with many different other areas in terms of policy, in terms of all types of areas in terms of human resources. So that's something else I could talk to anybody if anyone's ever interested. But the key is for today is what is networking, and it's quite basic. It's a word that everybody's using all the time these days, but networking is basically talking to people and seeking and sharing information, and it's ongoing, it's reciprocal, it's keeping in touch with other people that may have been in your network from the past, your present network, and people that you're going to be growing your network with in the future. So your success, and obviously I put some people that we all know are very successful people, and one of the reasons that they are successful, and also obviously they have the intelligence, they've got the organizations, they've created some great products and services, but maintaining and expanding relationships with existing clients, sales professionals, all types of people in their organization is really important. Attracting new people, keeping in touch with those people, that's what really grows someone's law practice, some existing practice, keeping in touch with other lawyers, keeping in touch with people that you may network at business meetings, coming to places like this. Obviously today, a lot of you know that there's a networking format on this Hopin, and always thinking of how I can help other people, and maybe we can work on things together. So it's here is the power of networking. If we have positive habits, and positive habits means that reaching out to make contact with people on an ongoing basis. So if we develop it just like you would develop your skills in meeting with clients and doing your work for them, making even a small portion of your day or week into reaching out to people that are in your network is going to be very helpful for you in the long term. And thinking about positive thinking and reaching out and how I can help other people will bring the results that I will need for my own organization as well, my own law firm. So obviously networking is basically business development, and business development for my law firm, the business development for my own particular practice, whether or not I'm one person in a big law firm or I own my own practice and it's a small practice and I wanted to grow it bigger. It's basically keeping in touch with people, keeping that positive behavior, calling people back. I've known people in the past that don't always call people back, and that is really so critical for anyone in any type of business, but especially in the law business. And with the more people you reach out to, you'll feel one can feel a sense of accomplishment that I've reached out and talked to certain people, and I continue. It's not anything extraordinary what I'm saying, but it's amazing how many people I've heard for people that don't call their contacts back, and how that is so important. And believing that a lot of people, and whether or not it's lawyers or other people I've heard, well, this is not what I was trained to do. This is not what where my prime interested in is. But in order to keep your practice going, it's a key thing to be focused on as well, in small way or a larger way, in the business development of your law firm. So networking is building trusting business relationships with other lawyers, with other people in the business community, maybe associations that you belong to, other business associations, whether or not it's chambers of commerce, or it could be a Rotary Club, or belong to some kind of volunteer or other community organization, or being on a board of director is always good to continue to build your own network. And to find people that collaborate, whether or not it's you're working in a business type of an organization, or you're doing some business law, or you're even doing some criminal law, keeping in touch with other lawyers, making contacts with people that will help your own business grow and your own law firm grow. It's really important. So collaborating with others, obviously having the friendships and going out for coffee and dinners with these people is so important. And obviously that's going to bring more money for you and more for other lawyers. So in the New York Times, it's not the economy. It was written in November 30, 2018. It's not the economy, stupid, by David Brooks. It's relationships, relationships, and relationships. And that's the key thing for growing if you look on any successful people in any type of business or any kind of practice, whether or not it's law or accounting or other, it's continuing to build those relationships with other people as well. So there is a book by Adam Grant. He's a professor of management and psychology at the Wharton School, and he said that it's a give and take, and which means where a taker will help others strategically when beneficial. Those are the people who are takers. Will only help others when it's strategically beneficial for oneself. But the giver is the share your time, your energy, your knowledge, your skills, your ideas, and connections with other people who can benefit from them. Not always thinking about, okay, if I do this, I'm going to get this in return. I actually just had a meeting with somebody on the phone or on a Zoom meeting just before I started the talk today, and I felt that, oh my goodness, this lady is giving me so much information, so much support. I said, I'm really feeling badly right now that I'm providing you're giving me all this information. And her answer was and I had tried to provide some information to her, but I felt that she was giving me more at that time. She said, you know what, I will give to you, and I know it's all going to go around. It's good for all of us. I used to belong to, I highly recommend, there are some networking groups out there. One is called BNI, which stands for Business Networking International. I used to go to a chapter, and there usually is people from different walks of life in there. There was always would have been one real estate lawyer, one corporate lawyer, one other type of lawyer that did some other litigation, and people were in that BNI where the whole idea was focused on givers gain. So with that philosophy, that's how people grow their business. If you think that you can give to other people, it will come to you around at some other time. But being open to share your ideas, maybe with a new lawyer that's just starting out, or even some other lawyer that is someone that is in your network, but you would like to set up a meeting with him, and being open to share and to be able to give some information to him or her. So where to network, I've kind of alluded to this already, and some of you who are watching this, I'm sure, are very well aware of this, but you want to network with people at breakfast, lunch, dinner, and coffee. Hopefully when this pandemic is over, you'll be able to do that. But people are still having Zoom meetings today, and you can do that, have some meetings one-on-one, or there'll be association meetings. I strongly suggest that you don't need to wait till the pandemic is finished before you set up meetings with people, and to find out how you can help them. Going to sporting events and concerts, you're always meeting people wherever it's cocktail parties and other events, obviously reunions, bar association activities, educational programs and seminars that you may be attending, again, online or in person when the pandemic's finished. Other community religious organizations, other nonprofit activities, those are all places that can be very beneficial for yourself in growing your business. So the key thing is always trying to, what can I do to raise my profile? And one of the things that I'm always thinking is, writing articles, writing a blog, posting that maybe on LinkedIn or other places that part of your social media. Let people know what you have to offer. What's your take on it? Maybe if you're in a certain area of practice and law, if you're writing articles on that with your own bent on it, and posting that, it's going to draw people to your profile, whether or not it's future clients or other lawyers or other people in the business community. And obviously doing some speaking engagements. The more you're out there and speaking, the more it's going to help for your practice, and you're going to help you, whether or not your own reputation or your firm's reputation. So working with other lawyers is that you want to be able to collaborate, you want to be able to support other people, you want to be able to share your ideas, to give to other people, you want to build trust among other people, and this is going to help your own success. You're going to be able to exchange some new ideas. So whether or not you are a lawyer that's been working for many years, you'll be able to learn from the new lawyer that's just starting out, because you'll have his new knowledge that he's just learned from finishing university or finished law school to somebody who's been working at it many, many years, and he or she is going to have his own best practices and information to share. So being open, this is all part of the networking and building teamwork. It's even if you are practicing for many years, if you can reach back to people in your network, you might get some ideas that will help you for your own cases that you're working on. And I think some of us in whatever practice we are working in, we work in silos a lot, and we think, okay, I just got to get my work done and finish it. But I think it's really important for building your practice, but also building your knowledge and understanding what other people have to say in your field. So it can only be helpful to talk to more people. You'll get more motivated by learning about other people who are doing the same type of law, what they are doing, and getting some ideas. There's nothing better than to speak to another corporate lawyer, if I'm a lawyer myself, who can share some of his best practices, and he or she will be able to share some of his stories that he's used and what's been helpful for him and her in growing his practice and assisting his clients and supporting his clients. So again, I've talked about the coffee meetings today, And I think about a meeting that I had at around Christmas time, and maybe some of you are doing that as well. If you're setting up meetings for other people in your firm, or you're meeting with other people. I had a meeting at Christmas time, and the people that organized it sent by Uber food for all of us. And we all sat around and we ate with the food that was sent to us, and we had meetings. So it may be something that you may, initiative you may want to do with people with your own law firm as well, because everybody's working by Zoom and at their home office today. But even when you want to meet with other people, it's just a good gesture to say, let's set up a meeting, let's have all of us on, and maybe we'll have some food, and it will bring it as much to life as possible. We're all a little bit Zoom fatigue right now, as well as we are pandemic fatigue, but this may be a way that we still feel a little bit connected until that day that we can all meet with one another. So again, some of the outcomes that people can expect by working and meeting with other people, will be able to obtain some information, advice, and perhaps some introductions, especially if you're meeting with some other lawyers that are in a different area of expertise. We'll be able to understand the perspective of other people, you know, the current trends that are happening, the needs, the market opportunities, what's happening. You know, if I meet with a lawyer in another part of the city or in another specialty, I'll find out more what's happening. I'll find out how we could possibly collaborate with each other. It's so important that we just understand each other's expertise and what's happening in our own world, and then we'll be able to increase our visibility and understand what other people are doing and so forth. So I talk about this. Excuse me, got a little bit turned around here, but it's just a targeted approach. But you know, reaching out to our warm contacts, you know, they don't always have to be lawyers and people in our field, but people that, you know, our business contacts, our personal contacts, and people that we can reach out and stay in touch with, and finding out what the work that they are doing. I mean, the more connected we are, we will find out about where we may be able to offer our skills, or maybe be able to help other people and organize in their work as well. So warm contacts, you know, the second level, reaching back to our classmates, our colleagues, our people in our business associates. It's so important that as lawyers that we want to reach back and make contact to other people. Maybe you haven't spoken to a classmate in several years, or some other colleagues. Why not reach out to him or her and find out what that person is saying, what he or she is saying in his or her own practice, and trying to understand what he's doing and what he or she is doing in his or her practice. And then being able to be referred. If I'm a new lawyer starting out, I would like to try to reach out to some people that are more senior. Why not set up a meeting, ask if you could meet with that lawyer at some point? I know that you've been working in this field for so many years, and that's your expertise. I'm new to this practice, or I've only been practicing a couple of years. Is it possible I can set up a 15 to 20 minute meeting with you? I'd like to learn, get your perspective of working in this field for as many years as you want. I'd like to learn a little bit more about your journey. So I think reaching other people in your law area, whether or not it's someone starting out or someone more senior, I think that can be only helpful for your practice. But also, again, what I talked a little bit earlier about givers gain. If you give out, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment helping other people. If you're helping another lawyer starting out, and so forth, that will make you feel good in your own practice. Oh, had a little bit of, just 1 second here. Okay, so 4 things to keep in mind when you're networking is accept that you may not like networking. And I say that because I've talked to some lawyers, and the idea of doing this is not something that they feel easy doing right away. But I've worked with many people from many different professions and who consider themselves maybe on the introverted side, or they feel like, I just want to do my work. I don't want to have to do anything with networking. And so you may not feel like you like it at first, but if you can look at networking and business development as a new opportunity, it's a way to grow your business, to grow your practice, and to learn about what other people are doing in their own practice. That will help me when I'm working with my clients, help me to make sure I provide the best support to my clients. There's nothing like, I use the analogy of doctors getting together and sharing their information about how they've helped a patient. And I think some lawyers that will be able to do that as well. And if we keep on thinking in a positive way, and calling people, I feel like a sense of accomplishment and reaching out to people. And my belief is that if I reach out and to support other people, it's going to help other people, and it could ultimately help myself. So it's a mindset of thinking of doing this, of growing my practice and reaching out and getting some information and sharing some information with other people. And if we can keep it as make it part of our routine, maybe once a week, I might schedule a time to call somebody that I haven't spoken to for a while, or maybe there's a queue that I might have now's the time I need to reach out to somebody. I just connected with him on LinkedIn or some other way. Why don't I set up a time to meet with him? Or I saw he's just posted an article. Might be my time to reach out to that person, him or her, and just say, I would love to find out more what you've been doing, and we haven't spoken for a while. And it can only be rewarding for everybody by doing this, by reaching out and connecting with other people. So here's a couple of resources: networking, how successful lawyers do it and why you should. And it comes from this journal that I just posted by Steve Fredson. And another lawyer wrote the Attorney's Network Handbook, 14 Principles to Growing Your Practice in Less Than Time with Greater Results. And I already referred to the one about give and take. If you're being open to give and share information with other people, it can only be helpful that at some point it will come around to you. I highly recommend to join other professional associations. I mentioned the BNI before, being out there and being connected. And a lot of this is being done online today. Hopefully we'll be back on Zoom, in live and in person soon. But in the meanwhile, there are a lot of things still happening online. Okay, so I would like to see if anybody might have any questions or comments at this point. Anybody would like to share some information? Can anybody share what kind of networking you may have be doing in your own professional network? Thanks, Mark. My best tip for 2021 is that I think that networking doesn't stop because we're in the middle of a pandemic. Networking continues, and it needs to continue while we're in this pandemic. And we can be reaching out by online, setting up meetings by telephone. You can be meeting with more people. And actually, I do a lot of work with people who are obviously, I do work as an outplacement and career transition consultant and coach. And some people come to me and they say, oh, I guess I can't do networking now that the pandemic is on. And I say, well, it's networking is still being done, but it's being done in a different way, and it's being delivered differently. So setting up meetings with people, trying to find out what people are doing. Actually, more people are going to be open to having these meetings right now, because if you think about it, a lot of people are working from home, and with the exception of being nicely interrupted by their kids who are at home and the challenges that there are from working from home, it's often good to be reaching out to people and to make contact to people. And people are open to having meetings and meeting other people in their field and staying abreast of things. So I think you can use this time as really in a really beneficial way. So unless anyone has any questions, I would suggest, I'm just going to put my information here. If you're an employment lawyer, I love to meet with all lawyers. I do a lot of work helping organizations that are in career transition. I help the HR people who are that may be dealing with some challenges that they may be having when they're doing the restructuring. But I also am associated with another human resource organization called Newman Human Resources. And we do a lot of work on policy. I'm just putting my own website down, but I also will put my other website down in just a moment, that Newman Human Resources. And by doing that, we can help you in all areas that your clients may be facing in terms of they may be facing when dealing with some of their clients, when you're dealing with some of your clients in regarding HR type of in regards to some human resource type of issues. So I'm just getting the website for you right now, and just give me one moment. This will be another way to reach out to me. Okay, so I'm happy to speak to any one of you at any time. Feel free to reach out to me. And if you have any questions, I'm here to talk to you at any time. Thank you so much. I'm always happy to hear if anyone wants to share with me any type of work that you're doing right now as well. Okay.
Hi, Brian. Can you hear me? I just wanted to
Brian, can you hear me? Yes, I can.
It's really great. Definitely, definitely a lot of great tips, especially for networking now, with everything going on. It's definitely a good idea to kind of, take advantage of the time at home and really reach out to as many people as possible, especially since everyone's online, right? I mean, it's definitely a great time for networking. But yeah, I just really wanted to say thanks for your presentation. It's great to have you back at another event. And just to let you know as well, and everyone else as well, so our next session is actually starting in about 3 minutes. So that will be Will Greenblatt. So he starts at 3 o'clock. But feel free in the meantime to make use of the networking feature and make use of the tips that Brian gave you as well. But yeah, thanks again, Brian. It was great having you speak again at another event. And if you watching, wants a recording of the presentation, please let me know or let Brian know, and we can certainly provide that. Thanks again, Brian.
Okay, bye. Okay, thank you very much, Alex.